Welcome time travelers and welcome new time travelers. As always, if you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about history one event at a time, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1578 when English physician William Harvey, who discovered the true nature of the circulation of blood, was born in Folkestone, Kent, which is in southeast England. 1815 is when Ottawa von Bismarck, the founder and first chancellor from 1871 to 1890 of the German Empire, was born. 1917, American composer and pianist Scott Joplin was born, who was known as the King of Ragtime at the turn of the 20th century, passed away in a mental institute in New York City. The following year, in 1918, the United Kingdom's Royal Air Force was formed. We're going to make a stop in 1924 when Adolf Hitler was sentenced to 5 years in prison for his role in the beer hall purge. He ultimately served only 9 months, during which he wrote much of the Mein Kampf, or My Struggle. 6 years later, in 1930, Joseph von Strasbourg's Dear Blue Angel, or The Blue Angel, was released in Germany, and the classic film made Marlene Dietrich a star. On this day in 1939, the U.S. recognized the government of General Francisco, who lifted the arms embargo against Spain. In 1945, brought us U.S. troops landing on Japanese island of Okinawa during World War II. On this day in 1953, Soviet Foreign Minister V.M. Malto endorsed Chinese Communist and North Korean proposals for an exchange of prisoner and termination of the Korean conflict. 1954 is when the United States Air Force Academy was created by an act of Congress and was later built in Colorado Springs, Colorado. 3 years later, in 1974, following overwhelming support in a national referendum, Raul Khan declared Iran an Islamic Republic, and it marked the end of Iran Revolution. In 1984, American singer and songwriter Marvin Gaye, whose notable works included the concept album What's Going On in 1971, was shot and killed by his father in Los Angeles. We're going to make a stop in 1998 when the Japan prizes were awarded in ceremonies in Tokyo. Leo Eski, president of the University of Tsukuba, Surya, Japan, wins the area of material science, and 2 Belgians, Joseph Chevrier of the Max Planck Institute, and Cologne General, and Mark van Montague of the Flanders Inter-University Institute for Biotechnology, Gent Belgium wins in the area of agricultural biotechnology. With that, my brain hurts. Created on this day in 1999 by carving a vast region from Canada's Northwest Territories, the Canadian territory of Nunavut stretches across much of the Canadian Arctic and encompasses the traditional land of the Inuit. 2001 brought us two events. The first event is when the mid-air collision of U.S. spy plane and Chinese fighter jet that was trailing it over South China Sea resulted in the deaths of the Chinese pilot and the landing of the damaged American plane on Hainan Island, where the crew was detained for 11 days. The second event is the Netherlands became the first country to grant equal marriage rights to same-sex couples. In 2004, Google launched Gmail, and 5 years later, the number of people using the email service surpassed 1 billion. 2009 is when at a conference in Hawaii, biologists from the US and Bangladesh reported that a survey of marine mammals in Bangladesh found the population of Irrawaddy dolphins, which lived in brackish waters and rivers and bays, was surprisingly healthy at 6,000. In 2008, American television producer Stephen Bacchio, the co-creator of such shows as Hill Street Blues, LA Law, and NYPD Blue, passed away at the age of 74. Now, April Fool's Day, which is celebrated today with joking relationships and practical jokes, may have grown out of medieval Feast of Fools, which was held on January 1st. It's also said that April Fool's Day dates back to like the Mayan calendar or Chinese calendar or something like that, where it's actually the false beginning of the year. How true that is, I don't know. That will be something that I can look into when I do like the history of each holiday. So, until next time.